thousands of people have been evacuated from the canyon fire that's burning at an alarming rate just north of Los Angeles. The wildfire started Thursday and has already burned more than 5,000 acres. Thursday was the hottest day of the year so far in much of the region as high temperatures hit or exceeded 100 degrees. And extreme heat led to the dangerous conditions that fueled these flames so quickly. Officials say 3 firefighters received minor injuries and will make a full recovery. CNN national correspondent Nick Watt is there as firefighters are working to contain the blaze.
This is just one of a number of active fires in California right now. We are in fire season. Long, dry summer, hot temperatures as we always get. July, August, into September, maybe October as well. That is when this place is at the most risk. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a look of the anatomy of this fire, the Canyon Fire. So firefighters are trying to save that community down there, Hasley Canyon. The way they do it, Mike, if you pan around a little bit more, you'll see pink stuff there, that is dropped from the air, that is Phos-Chek, that's a flame retardant. They're trying to create a barrier around the fire. And if you look a little bit, you can see those guys and men and women wearing orange there with chainsaws, with hose, with shovels, actually physically cutting a line around the fire. Meantime, they also drop from the air. I can hear a helicopter coming in now, one of the water droppers. And they will hit hot spots. You know, we've also got these guys here, you see. So within this area, which is already burned, there are little embers, there's little bits of smoke. You don't want to leave any of that because that can get reignited by the wind, picked up and moved elsewhere and start a spot fire somewhere else. So there are hundreds of people on the ground here working. Their priority, life and property. That's what they want to save. So hillsides burn. They try and contain them to save properties like that. Now, this one, 25% contained as of midday Friday. That is pretty good. We were told that they had done a lot of work overnight trying to contain it, that the day would show how well they had done that work. And it looks like they did a pretty good job because this fire is looking for now to be under control. But the temperatures here are still very high. There's no rain in the forecast. Humidity is low. The wind, we're talking 20-mile-an-hour gusts today apparently. So certainly not out of the woods for fire season in Southern California and not yet out of the woods for this particular fire.
All right, Nick Watt, thanks so much. All right, for more insight now, I'm joined by Andrew Dowd, the Public Information Officer for Ventura County Fire Department. Great to see you. So what is the latest that you can tell us about evacuations in your county?
Great to see you too. So as of last night, all evacuation orders in the area were converted to evacuation warnings, and evacuation warnings were lifted for those residents under evacuation warning. We had approximately 2,700 individuals that were under an evacuation order, and that has now been lifted as firefighters continue, as Nick said, to make great progress on this fire.
So what does this say about containment in your view?
So containment is a challenging situation because we need to go in, as Nick was describing, and go through the entire fire line to make sure that there are no heat signatures, no potential for that fire to grow. So we are currently at 28% containment on this fire, but it should reflect that we have made a tremendous amount of progress. Nick talked about the coordinated efforts between our aviation assets, the fixed-wing aircraft that drop retardant in the area, coordinating with our ground forces and fire engines in the area. Those containment lines need to be evaluated and made sure that there is no potential for fire growth. Once that happens, we declare it contained. We've seen a significant reduction in fire activity. We have over 1,140 firefighters battling this blaze right now. So there's tons of resources focused on bringing this fire to an end.
What started this in the first place?
So since the beginning of the fire, we have investigators that were dispatched to the incident. We've been in unified command, the Ventura County Fire Department with the LA County Fire Department, and we're collaborating to try to get that answer. That process can take time. As you can imagine, the location of the fire and the cause of the fire was burned. And so our investigators are working on it. We want to get that information out. We just want to make sure that we get it 100% accurate.
Okay, and even with this 28% containment, and you said that is encouraging. You know, firefighters in general, you know, you're putting your lives on the line with this kind of work. Talk to me about, you know, how the current weather conditions further complicate the risks for them.
Absolutely. So the men and women that are out fighting this fire are doing a tremendous job. We enjoy a very robust mutual aid system here in Southern California. So when a fire breaks out in a jurisdictional boundary like we had here between Ventura County and LA County, our partnership come together and allow us to serve residents regardless of where the jurisdictional boundaries are. We have firefighters from Ventura County, LA City, CAL FIRE, U.S. Forest Service, over 1,000, like I said, 1,140 firefighters here. And they're working in steep, rugged terrain in 100+ degree temperatures, carrying heavy packs, put in hose lines, scraping the soil down to mineral earth in very tough circumstances. They have done a tremendous job. In addition, while that's happening, we also have firefighters providing structure protection and structure defense. We're happy to say that despite the conditions, as of this morning, there have only been 2 minor structures that we verified 2 minor structures that have been destroyed by this fire. We have people on the ground evaluating to make sure and confirm that number, but that's where we're at as of this morning. So again, tremendous work by the men and women that are here.
Yes. Okay. And so far, thankfully, this is not looking like what people experienced and witnessed in Southern California in January. But there is still, right, a sense of unease. There's a lot of anxiety. I mean, what are people telling you, especially having been through the devastation earlier in the year?
It's a great question. I live in this community. My family is here. All of us live in this community. So when we say it affects us personally as well, this is not just where we work, this is our home. And I think what we are encouraging all residents in the area to do is to be prepared for these type of emergencies. So to prepare your home, have a plan for what you're going to do in the case evacuation orders are given. Make sure that your residence is prepared, that if you're in the wildland urban area, you're creating defensible space so our firefighters can go in and effectively protect your property. Nick mentioned earlier, our mission is quite simple: protect life and protect property. And with the help of the residents in the area and everything we've been through, we're very thankful to see them continue to do that.
I know you said the firefighters are working really hard. They're doing a magnificent job. But I do want to follow up and ask you about the 3 firefighters who were airlifted this week with injuries. Another was injured when his vehicle apparently rolled down a hill. Can you tell me how they're doing?
So we did have 3 minor injuries as of yesterday morning, and then yesterday at approximately 6:20 p.m. A vehicle rollover occurred involving a Kern County Fire Department individual. That individual was treated and transported from the scene. I don't have any information on his conditions, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. We are one huge fire family, and of course our concerns go out to him, his family, the entire Kern County Fire Department, and we're just referring all inquiries about his status over to the Kern County Fire Department for follow-up.
Okay, we share similar concerns. Andrew Dowd, thanks so much for taking the time. All the best to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.